one.
All right, next you're going to go to Firebase. Just Google Firebase and go to their website, and you're going to go to the console. It'll be up here. Or you can just go to this website right here. I think I put a link in the README. You want to create a new project, and then you want to add to an existing project or add an existing project down here. And just pick, it'll have a list of all your Google projects, and then you can just click on whatever you named it. I named mine YouTube Clone. And then come in here once you click on it, and then just click add Firebase to your web app. And it's going to bring up all different, your API key and all your different stuff here. So you'll get all your information there. And then you can create this file. This is in SRC directory of the client. Just create this file, import Firebase from Firebase. We don't need any of the other stuff. So I just changed things a little bit, simplified the code. We're not using any of this other stuff. We're not using a storage bucket we're using AWS. We're not using Firebase. We're not using the Firebase database. We're using MLab, which is Mongo. So we don't need any of that other stuff. We're just concerned with the messaging sender ID. And then just export default Firebase.initialize app with that config object as the parameter to this function call here. So we've done that. And then this is your index JS in the client. This is where we did all of our Apollo setup. And I just imported Firebase, but I imported it from that config file. So it's the Firebase after it's been initialized. And then just say const messaging is Firebase.messaging, which is a function. And then messaging on message. It's a function of payload, console log. We can actually simplify this code a little bit. This is just copy and paste. We can actually say we can actually just say that. I think that'll be fine. Simplify it down to one line. And then I chose to do the implementation in the user landing. So let me start up the app real quick. I just want to make sure that me simplifying that code also works too. But in the user landing, I brought in some new things. I brought in compose. I brought in snack bar, icon button, typography, Firebase from Firebase, and the close icon, and link. Now, show you what the user landing page looks like. As you can see, I've added a button. Web push notifications are enabled. You will receive a message when someone likes one of your videos, and then a link so we don't have to reload to get to that test video anymore. And your test video link will want to be, let me see, how did I set that up? I literally put in an ID that I got from MLab. This is specific to my project, so your ID will be different, but you can set it up like just put an ID in there. Make sure this. I just want to make sure the messaging still works. I got my phone in my hand and I'm about to send a message. Okay, it's working on the back end. It still works. Okay, so simplifying the function was fine. That all works. So in the index, it kind of keys up the on message what to do when we get a message. But in user landing is where we configure this. I've added a new to our user model and to our video model. I've added a new field. So to our user model, FCM token is a string, and same with our video model. Our video model also has FCM token, which is a string, and for some reason I put a default to an empty string on the video model. Make sure you add those to your schemas. You want to make sure you add those to both your GraphQL schemas. Your user schema now has FCM token that's a string. And we also have a get FCM token. We also have a get FCM token mutation, which takes in the FCM token and spits out a user. This way we can save the FCM token. So basically, what I've added to that button, so we want to save the token. So the first time someone comes here, we're not automatically going to have that little pop-up. I wonder if I clear the cache, if you'll be able to see that. But you know how when it asks you, can this website use this? Can this website use that? It's like a Chrome pop-up. Maybe I might be able to clear the if I clear the cache. In any event, we're going to ask, we're going to let a user push the button themselves before web notifications are enabled. So if we look we're going to run that query. Here's our mutation. And in our query, we already queried the user. We're going to add FCM token to it. So if we don't, and obviously use compose down here and add our mutation, name it FCM, get FCM token. But when we do our query, we were getting some user info before. Now, if we don't get the, we add the FCM token to all these other properties we got from the user. If we don't have a token, that's when we're going to say, the button's going to say enable push notifications. If we already have a token, this button will just refresh that token. So the token is there. So the main purpose of the token is so when we send the notification from the back end, we know who we're going to send it to. So each device will have its own token. And I guess it's an instance ID is the name of the API. I don't quite understand it all, but I do believe that each device will have its own instance ID, and we'll use that when we send the notification. We need some way to know who to send that notification to. And since we're using Google Cloud Messaging for that, which is Firebase Cloud Messaging, that's how it works. You need to get this token. And I will run through the handle notification, which is how we get our token. We're using the Firebase for that. And that'll be next video.